Rise and grind. $100 to build a whiskey collection. Let's get into the list. The last time that we met, we showed you how you could take $200 and walk into any grocery store, any liquor store, and walk out with an amazing collection. Today, we're going to show you how to take just $100 and build you a collection. Now, this collection is going to have 3 bottles. One is going to be your mixer. One is going to be your daily sipper. And one is going to be your weekend pour. And so the first bourbon that we have is your mixer. And for that, we're going to go with Wild Turkey 101. This is a bourbon that you can get for about $22. This bourbon is 101 proof, and this is 6 years age stated. This bourbon is filled with cinnamon. This bourbon is filled with bacon spice. This bourbon is filled with hints of vanilla. And so this makes a great mixer. Whatever you're making, if you're making an old fashioned, all the spice and the cinnamon that's in this is gonna rise above the simple syrup. Any mixture or any cocktail that you're gonna make, this is gonna be a great choice. This is flavorful, this is high proof, and this is easily and readily available. And so the first $22 that you're gonna spend is gonna be on Wild Turkey 101. This is your mixer. The next choice on your list is gonna be your everyday sipper. Now, let me caution you. Everyday sipper does not suggest that you should be drinking every day. In fact, you shouldn't even have a drink every weekend. We use these terms just to indicate when you would have that bourbon. And so it's okay to go a week or even 2 weeks without a drink. But if you find yourself on a Wednesday night and you just want something to sip on, then we would recommend our second choice here, which is Larceny. This is the small batch. This comes in at the perfect proof. This is 92 proof. This is a wheater. And what that means is that it has no rye. And so bourbon has to be at least 51% corn. And after that, you can add rye, you can add wheat, you can add barley, but you have to have at least 51% corn. Now, what a lot of bourbons do is they add rye because rye gives it some spiciness. But some bourbons don't have any rye. And so the second component is wheat. And so you're gonna get a much smoother taste. And for some people, they think that means the whiskey is aged more. But that simply means it doesn't have rye. Some people think whiskey is smoother just because it's lower proof. And so these are some of the things that makes a bourbon or a whiskey seem smoother. The fact that it doesn't have rye or the fact that it's low proof. And both of those things make Larceny an easy sipper. This is a crowd pleaser. And so if you just want something on that Wednesday night, something that's just gonna go down smooth, you don't want too much proof, you don't want too much spice, Larceny would be a great choice for you. This, although it doesn't have rye spice, you do get notes of cinnamon spice. This is a crowd pleaser, and this you can get for about $25. And so this will be your everyday sipper. Larceny, small batch. And so far you have spent about $45. You've got a mixer You've got your everyday sipper. You've got $55 left. And for that, you're gonna get Smoke Wagon Small Batch. Now, the opposite of the Larceny, which has no rye. This has a lot of rye. This is spicy. This also has notes of white pepper. Now, although it's so spicy, it blends in perfectly with caramel. This distillery coming out of Nevada, because of the heat, the rye comes forward in the barrels. This is flavorful. This is a perfect blend of sweet and spice. This $55 will make a great weekend pour. Smoke Wagon Small Batch. And so you have spent $100. You've got your mixer, your daily sipper, and your weekend pour. If we have helped you, then help us by subscribing. Help us by liking this video. Help us by leaving a comment. How would you spend $100? If you like this video, check out the other video that we did called The Only 5 Whiskeys That You Need. Today, for our conversation, I want to talk to you about who you marry. There are certain decisions that you're going to have to make in life. What job to work, what car to buy, what house to buy. But the most important decision that you will make is who will you marry. All throughout life, you're going to get thrown into relationships. You are thrown into a family. You are thrown into a work relationship. You join a church and you are thrown into relationships with church members. You buy a house and you are thrown into relationship with your neighbors. But who you marry, this is one of the only times in life that you get to make a choice. And that choice will either make you or break you. You want to marry someone who helps you to become a better man. Marry someone who will help you to reach and achieve your dreams. Marry someone who, when it's time for you to rise and it's time for you to grind, they understand. Marry someone who is going to help you to become great. But if you marry the wrong person, it's going to lead to a lot of stress. If you marry the wrong person, they're not going to understand your drive and your passion. If you marry the wrong person, it's going to hinder you. If you marry the wrong person, you will never be great. Who you marry is the most important decision in your path to success. Let's finish this conversation in the comments. Again, thank you for your support. Thank you for all those who have subscribed. Thank you just for taking the time to watch this video. Rise and grind.